Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of the Knitting Camper. I'm Barbara Jean, and I'm just so happy that y'all could join me again today. This podcast is about my journey into retirement life. It is about my camping adventures with my husband and our dog Maylee, and also my shenanigans with knitting, crocheting, weaving, and whatever other craft mischief I can get into. So welcome, I'm glad you can join me today. So what I'm working on right now, as you can see, I'm just knitting away this morning. It is a scarf or shawl, and the pattern is Skoosh, S-K-O-O-S-H. And I'll put a link in the description below. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. This is going to be for a friend, and it's just a simple scarf. Let me see if I can do this without losing stitches. What do you think? See if you can see the pattern in it. And the color's coming up gray on the camera, but it is black. I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, and the color is black. She wanted something black, and I happen to have it in the house, so that's what we're making it out of. It's a really super easy knit. It's a good one to sit and just watch TV or listen to a good book or read a book if you can knit without looking. I'm not very good at knitting without looking, so you'll see that I look down a lot. But anyway, so that's what I'm working on this morning, and still trying to get organized in my craft room with my yarn section. Last week I had asked how everybody stores their needles. I have needles everywhere, but I just want to get them off my workspace. So I went digging around the house to try to find things that might work for me. And I actually came up with a semi-permanent solution. It's still a work in progress, but I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. See if I can do this without making too much noise. So I had this plastic, I have a couple of these plastic containers. I don't remember where I got them. And I have these plastic containers. Gum comes in these. And my friend Jennifer and I do a lot of crafting, and we use these to put little bits or scraps or different things in them. And I thought, why can't I see if I can use them for my knitting needles? They fit perfect in this plastic case here. And I've put the needle size on the top. Right now I just have my bamboo needles in here going across, as you can see. And I have stacked these up behind. I'm not sure if they're going to stay like this or how I'm going to store these. But this, right now, this is working for me. It fits in my cabinet really well. I do have other needles that I have in another plastic bin like that, but it's just a jumbled mess. I don't know what to do with these. I just don't know what to do. I've tried mason jars, I've tried boxes, I've tried baskets, I've tried the fabric roll-up needle holders. I don't know. Right now, it works right now. So we'll see how long this lasts. Probably not very long. But like I said, I'm still trying to get myself reorganized in here. And I think I've made some pretty good headway. I know tagging the yarn has really helped, so that I'm not guessing all the time. I know exactly, well, 90% sure what it is. So I can just grab it and knit and go for it. So again, let me know your suggestions for keeping your needles. And the other thing is, how do you keep your patterns? Do you print them off? Do you keep them in a binder in those sleeves? Do you just save them on Ravelry? Do you keep them on a file on your desktop? How do you store your patterns? That's going to be my next thing. I'm thinking of plastic sleeves, keeping them in a binder with dividers by type of item. I am on Ravelry, the Knitting Camper. I've been on it for quite a while, but never was really active with it. But I am starting to utilize the bits that are on there, the library, the project pages. So it's slowly getting updated. I'm pulling older things that I've done and creating the project pages. And I am getting a lot of patterns from there. Love their pattern, the patterns that everybody puts up there. So that's my question. Put your answers or your comments below, suggestions on how to keep my patterns neat and not all over the place. Yeah, so, and any other organization ideas that you might have, just to, it might seem obsessive, but it's been so long since I've been able to just really focus on just the knitting and the crocheting and the weaving and my other crafts. As many of you know that working and taking care of a house, and if you have children, just takes up so much time. And I'm a person who likes to be organized and have everything where it belongs. However, I'm not a person who puts everything back where it belongs. I don't know. I'm weird. But that's just how it is. That's who I am. And let's see, what has life been like? It's been busy. Doctor's appointments, errands, getting ready for Thanksgiving, getting the travel trailer ready for camping next week. Pretty much there. It's all ready to go. Just need to put in our clothes and our food, and once Thanksgiving is over, we'll be off camping, and I just can't wait. Can't wait. I'm hoping to be able to video while we're there and maybe do knitting by the campfire, which should be really relaxing, and the weather's just been great. Just absolutely great. So let's talk about whips. One is the shawl that I'm working on. I hope to have that done in the next couple of days. And it's so funny, I've started all these projects now, and I'm watching on Instagram and YouTube, a lot of people are using November to finish up their whips and unfinished objects, and I'm just starting up new things. I don't know. But I've also noticed that I'm not using a lot of color currently. I'm using a lot of black and white and gray, which a lot of my gifted yarn with dark colors. So I'm trying to work through that. I needed some color to brighten up my day. Excuse me. So I pulled out of my UFO basket one of my blankets that I really didn't know how I wanted to do the edge. And I decided on the I-cord edge. Let me see if I can do this. And when I say colorful, it's colorful. The yarn that you see in here, it's all kinds. It's all kinds. So I'm doing the I-cord edging. I have one side done. It's about the size, it's a little bigger. It's bigger than a lap blanket, but smaller than a twin size blanket. But all of this yarn, just to give you an idea of how much yarn I was gifted, I made this blanket I made another blanket that I sent to a cousin in California. I made another blanket, the Quarantine Knitting Squares by Arna Carlos. I have used it to weave scarves. I've made hats. And there's still some up in there here. It's the never-ending yarn. But I am been blessed to be able to make so many things with this. So this is my first attempt at the I-cord. I really do like how it's coming out. And it goes pretty quickly. I thought, oh, this is going to take forever. But I do have one of the long sides done. And I'm hoping I'll have this done by the time we go camping. If not, it'll go camping with me. And it'll be a camping project. So this is that. And it's a variety of yarn. Some of it is Hobby Lobby. And some of it was from Michael's. So I really can't tell you what type of yarn it is. It is all acrylic. Excuse me. I did the blanket in a garter stitch. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and I think this will be done faster than I anticipated it to be. Another whip is I'm still working on the Musselburgh. This is how far. I don't know if I've done much since the last time I showed it, but it's getting there. Again, black and white. I know. I do have another hat cast on. It's in the other room. I had cast it on yesterday. And I got all of the ribbing done, and I probably got a third of the way up the base of the hat. But I kept getting interrupted. And what I realized is that the pattern was all off. So I tried to rip it back to the ribbing to start over, and I got interrupted again. I think it happened 4 or 5 times, and I kept losing my place, and I kept ripping it out and trying to start. Right now, it just is 80 stitches on a pair of circular needles, and it's just sitting there. I got so frustrated with it. No one's fault but my own. But, you know, when you're knitting and you're counting, I don't know. But anyway, maybe it's just not meant to be made. Maybe I need to just start over and do something else with it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it ends up being. That's all the whips that I have. Everything else are finished objects. And, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of those. I have a pair of socks. These are the vanilla, Crazy Sock Lady vanilla sock pattern. And they are made with Patton's sock yarn. And the colorway is Sidewalk Chalk. I really like how they worked up. They're nice and warm. These will probably go camping with me to keep my feet warm. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. What else do I have? Oh, yeah. Before, I just read the best book. It is Choose Me by Tess, Gerritsen, and Gary Baker. I'm not sure. I'll check that. But it was Mrsvintagecat on Instagram recommended it in one of her stories. And so I was ready to read another book, and I downloaded it. It was really good. So as recommended by Mrsvintagecat, read Choose Me. And I'll put all the information in the description below. Really good. Really good. So now I'm looking for another one. So if you have any book recommendations, let me know. So on to finished objects. The first one, as I started this hat, I showed you it as a whip in the last project. This is using what used to be mystery yarn. I love this yarn by Hobby Lobby, and it is called Coffee. It's just a basic hat, just very basic, nice and warm. And I made a pair of mittens in the same color. And these are the World's Simplest Mitten by Tin Can Knits. They worked up so fast. I really like these. I'll be making more. Now, it's not wool, but here in Georgia, we don't really, it doesn't really get that cold and snowy. So these would be perfect. Perfect. Turned out really nice. Really happy with that. The next finished object is a hat. This is a hat that was made for a friend. The pattern is Slip Stitch Stash Hat. I will put a link below. I found it's on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. And she used multiple colors to finish hers off, and then stopped right about here in her pattern and just alternated the stockinette all the way to the end. I carried it all through pattern. I started to decrease in pattern. I like the effect that it gives it. And that's how the top ended, almost like a flower or a starburst. It created a very thick fabric. My hands were so sore when I finished working it. However, it's so cute on, and I hope my friend really enjoys it. And this was made with Karen Simply Soft. It was left over in my stash that was gifted to me. And yeah, so that really is a nice hat. Nice and thick and warm. I hope she enjoys it. And the other thing that I have that's finished is a hand-woven scarf. It's a plain weave, and the colors are so pretty. The pattern that you see is just made by the yarn. It reminds me of autumn in New England. I did a twist fringe and just fuzzed the ends, and then put a little knot down there. So, but it's nice and soft and drapey. Really turned out nice. And the yarn is Sun Gold and Jazzed Stripes. So this is the yarn, Sun Gold and Jazzed Stripes. And this is I Love This Yarn by Hobby Lobby. I know. Pretty. Very pretty. So that's pretty much all the work that I have done. I do plan on hopefully pulling out more of my unfinished objects. They are mostly, in fact, they are all blankets. But I'm glad that I pulled it out and finally got it going again. I would like to start the new year with nothing on the needles and just starting doing other things. I've been having fun using up the yarn on my wall and using up the mystery yarn, and just getting to a point where I can not feel guilty about buying yarn. There's so many beautiful indie dyers out there, and I want all the goodness, but I'm having trouble letting myself purchase any yarn when I have all of this here in the house. So I'm diligently working through it all, trying to use it up, probably gift a lot of it, and get to where I can start to not feel guilty if I want to purchase some of that beautiful hand-dyed yarn. But other than that, life is going to be busy next week, as I'm sure it is for so many of you. Thanksgiving, camping for us, visiting family, preparing for fall or winter. Not that winters in Georgia are not harsh, like northern winters or New England winters. But we still have to prepare for it the best that we can. We never know what we're going to get. Usually, if they say, oh, we might get snow, might be like 4 snowflakes. If it gets bad, then most of the time it's like an ice storm or ice, and so nobody will go anywhere or do anything. So just making sure like the hoses are turned off and windows are sealed up nice and tight and the heat works and things like that. Because we don't, we don't have that kind of weather. I would love to have that kind of weather, but we don't. So anyway, that's about all I have for today. Again, I will put anyone that I mentioned or anything, any patterns or anyone that I mentioned, I'll put it in the description below. And I will also put the name of the book in the description below. And if you would please let me know how you store your needles and how you store your patterns. I'm still trying to get organized. Help me, please. So you all have a blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving. The next video will probably come up after Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to video while we are camping, and so it may be a day late. I'm not sure. Just going to depend on a lot of different things and how things go. And if I can actually upload from the campsite. Some of them have Wi-Fi, some of them don't, and yeah. But you all have a blessed and wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you soon. Be safe and have a blessed day.